Howdy. May 7th, I believe. I'm still in Idaho, Twin Falls, Idaho. I've been helping my parents during this pandemic. No guitar songs today. My guitar is being repaired. My travel guitar is. So I have some backlog, and I will be playing some fun stuff soon. But I wanted to just touch bases. The Idaho itself has gone out of lockdown May 1st, or the first phase, or what they want to call it. Retail stores are open, people are moving around. I did a yoga retreat last weekend with about 17 other people in a hot springs on the river, and it was beautiful. But people are just starting to get back to normal, and there's a lot of change. And depending on what your perspective is, there's still a lot of pushback out there. Everyone's seeing what's going on, or they're not. But you know, I like to make an analogy. I've been posting a lot of things on my Facebook page and various other things that you know, I question everything. That's just been the way I've always looked at life, is questioning everything. I never go by a narrative of what one certain mainstream media tells me, or what conservative or liberal or what just one source tells me. I'm questioning everything. I've always approached life that. And the analogy I like to make is when we started our nutrition business, Wendy and I, back in Texas, oh, we're going on 12 years now. We moved to Texas about 10 years ago. And we're using me as a first client and a guinea pig. You know, back then we were going completely against the narrative. We were not to say, well, we were ahead of our time. You know, this was before the paleo movement came, and we kind of were looking around and realizing that, myself included, I was always the one following the latest fads, the latest diets, listening to what the government told me, listening to what doctors and so-called experts told me. But it wasn't working. I was sick, and the doctors kept putting me on different prescription pills. So when we started what we're doing, we went against completely the narrative. We went outside the box, and we started questioning everything. When we were first starting out, people called us, I had friends or associates call what I was doing was witch doctor. I had a family member call what we were doing as pseudoscience. And we were looked and laughed at the very beginning, you know, but as we continued to quietly do our work down in Texas and starting to work with clients, we started with weight loss for men, and finding that we were having a 95% success rate. We've never failed with anybody when it came to weight loss that stuck with the program, but we were starting to see people come off their drugs per their doctor's orders, statin drugs, diabetes meds. Testosterone was getting better, hormonal issues getting better, sleep getting better, anxiety. We just saw, working with cancer patients, this whole door started opening up, and we started working with women and children. But this was even before the paleo movement. So the paleo movement came, the gluten-free movement came, now keto's the big thing, but we were doing all that over a decade ago. And yeah, I'm going to pat myself on the back because we were a little forward thinkers. We just questioned everything, and we found our own way, and it just happened to take. So my point about this is, because we kept to our principles and believed in what we were doing, and actually saw scientific data of our clients getting healthier and coming off their meds, and we didn't even have to argue with their doctors. They would go to see their doctors, and the doctors would say, well, whatever you're doing, I'm taking you off your statin cholesterol drug. And it just became that way. So now everybody's doing, and not everybody, but a large part of people are doing paleo, keto, and things like that. And what has happened with that? This large group of people, millions of people who've adapted their lifestyle, who have taken control of their lives, who have questioned everything, including their doctors, are starting to get healthy. And at the end of the day, they're starting to talk with their pocketbooks. So there is now product on the shelves. There's things everywhere. We've seen it. That was barely even, you couldn't find it even a decade ago. So my point being about what's happening today, even during this pandemic or during things that are going on in our society, is this is how I look at things. I question everything. And it doesn't mean I'm a conspiracy theorist, you know, and that's a word that's been bandied around a lot with people, or other people are conspiracy theorists. They're questioning the narrative. And the thing is, there is more, just like the analogy I made with the nutrition thing that we're doing. Now there is a growing group of people, millions, who are questioning the narrative. I've seen it in my travels this last few years. People are just sick and tired. They were sick and tired of their health. They're taking control of that. They're sick and tired of what the government and the mass media is telling them. And I'm talking about all sides of the government. and they're questioning and they're looking for truth. And now this pandemic has, the COVID-19 has sort of sparked that, and I'm seeing that. There is uprising is not a good word, but there is an awakening of people that are starting to look at everything and question everything. And better or for worse, that's creating a bigger divide between people. But it's happening. That ball is rolling, and it's creating a lot of angst for a lot of people now. But there's a lot of people waking up, and I think that's a great thing, because change is good. And change can be really good because it leads to good other things. So, I mean, what do you want to do to, I always talk about being careful here and not getting caught in the muck. And this is what I do. I keep aware, I see what's going on, but I still keep my peace about me. I work on my little corners of the earth. I help people as I can within my realm. But other than that, I have no control over everything else around me. So I don't get caught into that muck like many people do. I'm still grounded and I'm still in peace, but I'm doing what I can. There's a lot of people starting to do that. So what do you want to do? I guess that's the question. Where do you want to look? Where do you think this is going? I'm seeing a lot of stuff with this COVID-19 now that's starting to shake out, that it's not quite the zombie apocalypse that they said at the beginning. And there's many, many, many people questioning that now. And so this is where this loggerheads is coming between mainstream media, between the powers that be in the government, and individual people questioning that. And the power at the end of the day is in the people. And I've said this before, I've always believed that there's the powers that be. It doesn't matter what side you're talking about. Left, right, in the middle, wacky. The powers that be have been pitting us against each other for years. It's an us versus them thing, and it's not an us versus them thing. We're all one, and there's many, many people like me starting to realize that, and we're coalescing as one. And guess what? There is power in that, and there is change coming down the road. So question the narrative. We've got front row seats to huge changes coming on, and it's an awakening. Not woke. I don't even know what woke is. I hear that word bandied around a lot, and in my little bit of research that I've done, it just seems to me that that's just a word as an excuse to be a bully. But there's people waking up, meaning looking around. So, take a look. We've got a front row seat for just some tremendous change already. And we tend to, I don't know, things happening so quickly, we don't focus on it. Look, institutions are collapsing. Religion. People are leaving religion in droves this last decade, especially millennials. You can look it up. You do the research. I'm not going to do it for you. They're becoming spiritual. Their choices. Different churches. The pedophile thing is collapsing. The Boy Scouts of America is collapsing. The Me Too movement. After years of women sort of, being a second fiddle, they've taken their power back. And like anything, pendulums swing over this way, and then eventually come to the middle. But these are all movements. Cosby went down. Epstein. All this is just tremendous change. And it brings a lot of chaos, but it is change moving forward, and that's continuing. There's it's a shedding of a new skin. I think it's fascinating, and I think it's exciting. So, you don't want to sit around, gnash your teeth, cross your fists, and, point to other people saying, oh, it's your fault. No, it's you. No, it's you. Keep your peace. Keep your grounded. Don't let your ego get the best of you. And, I always like to say, this is a really good thing, is when you start knowing yourself and you're confident in what you know, and that comes from research and knowing yourself, you find your truth. This is important. And when you find your truth, you step in your truth and you stand in your truth. And then you're not swayed by all the stuff coming around you, and you're at peace. And if and when the time comes, you stand for your truth. And this is where the fear goes away. You don't have fear. I've said this before, I'm not afraid of dying. I don't want to die, but I'm not afraid of dying. But I'm also not afraid of standing up for my truth if that time comes. I've had people say to me in the past, I'm sort of woo-woo, we call ourselves woo-woo, or, this peace, love, and understanding thing. And I said, don't mistake that for being weak. Not at all. Because when it comes time, I will stand for my truth along with a lot of other people. And that's happening. So what do you want? You want fear, or do you want a rebirth? You look at this time as an opportunity to go inside, to assess your life, to look at the good in life. Healthy body, healthy mind, healthy soul. We are one, and that is the truth. And these are amazing times that are going on now. So put a smile on your face. Do the research. Don't just follow a party line. And don't let fear get the best of you. That is what's driving a lot of people. Fear and anxiety, and they just don't want. You have to, and this takes working on yourself too. I've said a lot here. I've talked about this in other videos. I help a lot of people with this sort of thing I'm talking about. But learn yourself. Be comfortable with yourself. And then the truth will come to you. You'll know what's right at the time. And I'm not telling you what's right or wrong. That's going to be up to you to decide. But there's a lot of people now starting to see the difference between what is actually right and wrong and what we've been lied to for a lot of years. It's coming through. It's coming. The wave is coming. Kind of a heavy video, but I'll be back with a song and a few other things. I'm hitting the road in about 2 weeks. I'll be going to Boise, Northern California, Southern California, and swinging out to Texas. So I'll have a lot of fun stuff on the way. Take care of yourselves, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Okay.